Hi everyone, my name is Christian. I am Service Delivery Manager here at eCore, and I'm here today with Jordan. We will be talking a little bit about the projects we've been doing with Priceline and how we're delivering services to Google Cloud.
And I'm Jordan Salatan. I am a Senior Director in our Technology Program Management Division. I've been working with eCore since spring of 2021. It's been a great partnership so far, and today we're going to talk about a few of the projects we've worked on together with eCore. Go to the next slide. For those of you who are not familiar with Priceline, we are part of Booking Holdings, along with some sister agencies such as Booking.com, Kayak, and OpenTable. Priceline is a market leader in online travel agency solutions, and we provide smart and easy access to the best deals on hotel rooms, flights, rental cars, vacation packages, and cruises, primarily in the North America region. Moving on. So we had a pretty big challenge that led us to eCore. First and foremost, we're looking to migrate all of our infrastructure and hosted applications to Google Cloud to gain a bunch of benefits, specifically reducing the time to market for our digital services, becoming more adaptable to future market and technology disruptions, enabling capacity for on-demand and self-service provisioning, obviously reducing our hosting and maintenance costs, and mitigating a lot of security risks. We had a lot of legacy applications that were 15 plus years old. We wanted to modernize our full stack and get everything into the cloud. And we did that with the help of eCore services. Moving on. So as I mentioned, we did have a bunch of legacy systems on old technologies. We wanted to centralize and standardize our applications for better IT governance, for better cost tracking. And so we wanted to modernize our platforms through the cloud with microservices. And it was a very critical and heavy mission to accomplish. We were not able to do it with our entire development team. We needed outside assistance to get everything migrated on time to meet a deadline of getting out of our data center by actually this month. And that's why we brought eCore on to assist with that work. And we'll tell you a little bit more about that on the next few slides. So as I mentioned, we've been working with eCore since spring of 2021. We've got a lot of projects that we've completed, a lot more projects that are underway, and a bunch more projects that we are currently scoping for later this year and into next year. So when all said and done, it'll be at least a 3-year project or a 3-year program that's had over 40 different developers from eCore, lots of different product and project managers. And we're going to talk about 3 different projects today.
Okay, thank you, Jordan. And looking at and discussing a little bit more about the challenge that you have faced when you first started working with you guys. And I remember back in March last year when I joined the team, and we had a vision about having a team of about 20 professionals, and most of them to be working with the backend development. But when we got engaged and start working with the several teams that we've been working on, we find out that it actually would need other skills. And so we start hiring POs and architects and SREs and project managers and so on. So by the end of last year, we have successfully built a team of over 30 professionals. Of course, most of them were back-end developers, but we also have front-end and other skills, as I was mentioning. It is, of course, it just doesn't happen overnight. As we start working with all those teams, and I can name a few ones. We have worked with hotels team and flights team and payments and so on. We start digging a little bit more into the applications and understands what would be the challenges we'd be facing, and what are Priceline expectations regarding the timelines we have and the technologies we'll be facing. So this was a huge challenge for us to build this team in order to accomplish the goals that Priceline has planned for this 3-year program. And I have to say that, in my perspective, this is one of the most important part of my job here, is providing the right resources and have the team sized as we need for accomplish those projects, and also managing them and have them work in a collaborative way with Priceline, and have all those projects completed. And I would say that, in my perspective, we've been successful so far, and this is mostly because the level of partnership that we have established with our clients, trying to understand what are those needs and challenges that we'll be facing, and working close to them to design the solutions and provide the modernization of the applications and projects, and accomplish the deadlines that they have facing. So this is something that I consider important in this program. So most of the benefits that we have accomplished on these projects are related to cost efficiency by adopting modern architecture based on microservices. But we also focus on data security by creating a source layer access to sensitive data and using source accounts to grant access to a certain data domain. Of course, there are other benefits of not actually related of the development that you have done, but more related to adopting a cloud environment, like having automating CI/CD pipelines and test harness, and that makes our delivery process more smooth and transparent. And of course, intrinsic benefits of having a cloud-based environment. It makes your life easier when you need to deprecate or upgrade something in your infrastructure. When you're in the cloud, it's much easier. So let me hand it over to Jordan again and talk a little bit about the project that you have working on last year.
Sure, thank you. So as I mentioned, eCore has done a lot of different projects for us. We're going to highlight 3 of them today. The first is what we call PMD-Proxy Payment Method Distribution. So eCore not only helped us migrate some of our legacy and existing applications from our on-prem data centers to the cloud, to Google Cloud, but they also helped us build brand new applications in order to modernize our stack. And one of the company mandates for this year was to reduce our PCI risk, basically get credit card numbers out of our databases. And we do have to store credit cards, or we have, because we send those credit card numbers to our agency partners. And so one of the ways we've reduced our PCI scope is with this PMD-Proxy project, which allows us to send credit card data to our tokenization providers. They store the credit cards in their vault, and they send that payment information to our agency partners via this proxy service that eCore built. So this was a Java API with a set of microservices that our various product teams were able to call to pass payment information to the tokenization provider, and then from there to the agency partners for our flight, hotel, and rental car agency partners. That allowed us to remove credit cards from our scope, from our database and our systems, making the Priceline ecosystem much more stable and secure. This is a project that's been going on since last spring, and we are migrating all of our agency partners to this platform it's been wildly successful so far. The next project we could talk about is our stored contracts project. So this is another area where eCore took a legacy application and really modernized it and made it work in a more robust fashion in Google Cloud. A stored contract is basically a screenshot of what the customer sees at the time of checkout. So a customer comes to the Priceline website or the Priceline app. They reserve a hotel room and a flight, for example. They get a contract, a receipt emailed to them, but at the same time, we're taking a screenshot of everything that the customer is seeing on the screen, including terms and condition, pricing information, savings information, reservation dates and times, and we are storing that in our database so that if the customer has an issue or calls up our customer service reps, the customer care's representatives can look up that stored contract and say, okay, this is exactly what you saw at the time of checkout. So in case there's any disputes, there's a record on both sides. The old legacy system just took a giant screen grab of the HTML on the page. It wasn't formatted very well. What eCore did was build an API that allowed us to pass in all of the parameters, all of the values that the customer sees on the screen at the time of checkout. And then if and only if the contract is required later on for a dispute or a chargeback, that PDF contract would be generated on demand. It was much nicer formatting than the legacy contract. And it really has helped our cares and finance and risk management teams manage disputes in a better format than the legacy system. We have the same API that can generate the contracts, whether a customer signed up via the web or a mobile app, whether it's desktop or mobile web. The data is stored in a cloud database, and because the PDFs are only generated on demand and will self-expire after a day, we don't have thousands, tens of thousands, quite honestly, of PDFs taking up space and in our database, in our backend system. So we've been able to control our costs in this fashion as well. It's much more stable and much more secure, and it's so far worked out really well. So that was an area where eCore developers were able to partner with our product leads, with our teams who came up with the requirements, and they helped us work with all of our different product teams to ensure that this works correctly and successfully, whether a customer was booking a hotel, booking a rental car, or a package deal. So another successful project built by eCore. And if we move on to our third project that we can talk about today, this is price data guidance. This is basically moving our price data from the on-prem databases to a cloud-based application. This pricing data helps our customers make educated purchase decisions and allows them to compare prices to other products in a chosen area and time frame. So, for example, you want to stay in a hotel in New York. Our price data guidance will allow you to compare and contrast various hotel rates in different areas of the city, or maybe in one centralized location. Maybe you want to stay in Times Square. This will allow you to see various prices for multiple hotels in Times Square to allow customers to make the best decision for themselves. Because it is now running in Google Kubernetes engine, the application can auto scale to meet demands for higher traffic times. The code is consolidated into one language, so it's more simplified for maintenance, and it can be distributed across microservices, with each pod responsible for running a reduced set of responsibilities, independent scaling for on-demand peaks. It's really made our developers' lives better to be able to enhance this service going forward, to maintain this service going forward, and obviously it all aligns with our strategic priorities of getting out of the data center and into Google Cloud.
Okay, so now moving to our Q&A session, I have a couple of questions for you. Maybe we can try to reach what we have presented here today. My first question is, how has eCore work impacted Priceline's market competitiveness?
Well, simply by helping us to get out of our on-prem data centers, by helping us to deprecate and modernize our application stack, and by standardizing and streamlining our hosting solution on GCP and GKE, Priceline has been able to control our hosting costs. We can rapidly spin up additional computing power as needed for high traffic demands. And most importantly, it lets our product and development teams focus on building and delivering new functionality to attract and retain customers. Because we don't have to worry about supporting these legacy systems anymore, it really lets our teams get down to the business of what we do best, which is adding new features and functionality to not only retain our customers, but hopefully add new customers. It allows us to add lots of new features that our customers like and demand, and hopefully it will allow us to continue to ideate and build upon our applications in the future.
Okay, and I have only one more question for you. And we have talking here about the project that we have accomplished and results and benefits of moving to the cloud. But in your own words, how's been your experience working with eCore teams?
Sure. So I got to say it's been a really positive experience working with eCore for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, Priceline, we are a global company, but we're primarily based in New York, Connecticut, and Mumbai, and Canada. But the eCore developers all working in Brazil. First of all, the communication skills have been great. We have no issues with that. They all speak great English. They're able to communicate great with our teams. The hours are great. They overlap with our New York and Connecticut offices. Another thing that's been really great is that we don't have to go and interview the developers who join our teams. We can trust that eCore is going to interview and find the best developers. So far, they've all been great to work with. The projects that we've worked on with eCore, which as we mentioned, are over 30 at this point, they've all completed almost without fail, on time, all within budget. So it's just been really a positive experience. Definitely would recommend eCore to other companies who are looking for offshore development. It's been really a great experience overall. So.
Okay, thank you. That's really great to hear that from you. And I know that we've been partnering with a lot of projects together, and that's really, really great. I appreciate your comments. Okay.
No problem.
So thank you, Jordan, for joining us today. It was really a pleasure having you here with us, and
Sure.
see you around.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.